Have you ever felt like you would never truly be free from a toxic relationship? Like the wounds, the confusion, and the brokenness would always define you? Many who escape narcissistic abuse still struggle with self-doubt, fear, and emotional wounds long after the relationship ends. True freedom is not just about leaving the narcissist behind. It's about walking in healing and wholeness in Christ. Some of you may be led to walk away completely from a narcissistic relationship. Some of you that are married may be called by God to stay put, but not be dependent on a toxic, negative relationship with the narcissist. Walking in the freedom that only Christ can bring. The point is, freedom is possible, but only through Christ. Today, in our series, Breaking Free, the only cure for narcissism is Christ, we're discussing what it means to walk in true healing and wholeness, no longer bound by the pain of the past. There are 4 segments to this broadcast. Segment number 1. What does true freedom look like? Breaking free from the narcissistic cycle is not just about escaping the relationship. It's about healing from the inside out, learning to derive all from Christ. So what does freedom in Christ mean? What does it look like? No longer seeking validation from toxic people. No longer carrying guilt of the past. No longer defining yourself by rejection or trauma. No longer bound by fear or shame. What's the biblical truth? If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. John 8:36. Freedom isn't just leaving the toxic person behind. It's stepping fully into Christ's sufficiency. Illustration: a bird flying free from an open cage. A bird that was once trapped in a cage now soars high into the sky, symbolizing complete freedom and healing. Segment 2. Healing the wounds and renewing the mind. Even after leaving, many struggle with self-doubt, fear, and pain. The key to healing is renewing your mind through Christ. What is the process of healing? First, forgive, but don't reconnect. Forgiveness sets you free, but it doesn't mean allowing toxic people back into your life. And again, if you're married to one and God has called you to stay with them, just don't continue to allow their narcissistic tendencies to control you. Live in the freedom of Christ as you relate to them. Number 2, break the soul tie completely. Declare that your heart, mind, and emotions are fully surrendered to Christ. Replace lies with truth. Meditate on who God says you are, not who the narcissist made you feel like you were. And finally, find your security in Christ. No human relationship completes you. Only Jesus Christ does. The scriptural promise is, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. Illustration: a watered flower being revived by water and light. I recently had a potted plant in my yard shrivel up and begin to die because the sprinkler wasn't hitting it. But because I began to water it consistently and it was in the sun, it began to revive. A wilted flower comes back to life as it's watered and placed in sunlight, symbolizing God's restoration and renewal. Segment 3, walking in wholeness. Living as a derivative being. To walk in wholeness, you must live from Christ's life within, rather than seeking love, worth, and purpose from others. Key truths about wholeness. Christ is the source of your identity. You are not a victim. You are a new creation in Christ Jesus, 2 Corinthians 5:17. Wholeness is a daily choice. You must actively choose to derive all from Christ instead of falling into old patterns. That's what walking by faith looks like. You were created to derive from God. True healing happens when you draw everything, love, security, purpose, from Christ alone. There is a biblical foundation to this truth. Jesus said, I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit, for without me ye can do nothing. John 15:5. Illustration. A tree with deep roots draws water from the river, symbolizing how we must derive all life from Christ. Freedom isn't found in willpower, but in continually abiding in Christ as our source. Segment 4, practical application. Staying free and growing in Christ. You might ask, well, how do I maintain freedom and healing? Well, let me give you 4 suggestions. First of all, guard your heart. Be mindful of what influences your emotions and thoughts. Proverbs 4:23. Second, surround yourself with godly community. Healing happens best in a body of believers. Hebrews chapter 10, verses 24 and 25. Number 3, daily abide in Christ. Don't just start the day with the Lord, but walk with him through the day, drawing from his presence and not from the past pain. And finally, be ready to help others. That's right. Once free yourself, God often calls us to help others break free. Illustration. A lighthouse shining brightly in the dark. A lighthouse standing tall in the storm represents living in wholeness and guiding others to safety in Christ. Final words and call to action. Are you ready to walk in complete healing and wholeness in Christ? And ye are complete in him, which is the head over all principality and power, Colossians 2:10. Coming soon is my new book, which will go deeper into codependency, soul ties, and healing from narcissistic abuse, plus so much more. Stay connected for updates. Comment below. What has helped you walk in wholeness after toxic relationships? And share this message. Someone you know needs to hear that freedom is possible in Christ. In our next episode, which will be our final episode of this 7-part series, we'll be discussing the only cure, Christ, and the renewal of the mind. Stay tuned.